Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun HaMishna. Today I want to discuss Mishnah Tes and Paraches, Terumos. There's a case over here where you have Truma wine that's being pressed in your wine press, and it's being collected in a bore, which is a pit, where you store all your wine that's after it's pressed. Now the wine in the pit is chulin. It's not Truma. The Gad Halyona you designate it as Truma. So now, if the Truma were to fall in, it started to leak. So if it's going to leak into the chulin, right? Eventually, it's going to overtake the majority of 100 to 1. Right? You need 100 to 1 ratio of chulin to mavat the Truma. If enough Truma falls in, it's going to make all the chulin meduma, like we learned before, suffix Truma, and therefore you can't do anything with that. You're stuck. Right, you can't use it anymore. You ruin all your chulin. The Yisrael, all this chulin is gone down the drain. So what do you do over here? So the problem is that the only way of stopping the drip, the leak, is to bring kalim tmeim. If you bring kalim tmeim, it means you're matame the truma. The matame truma we learned in Masechet Mishnah Ches is that b'shmeres trumos you have to be shomer the truma to be b'tara. Whether you're Yisrael or a Kohen, you have to ensure that it remains tar. So here you're at a loss because if you let the truma drip down, so it's going to become meduma, and you're going to lose a lot of money. On the other hand, all you have is kalim tmeim. Mostly your kalim are tmeim, and you're going to matame the truma. So what do you do? So it's a conclusive. Everyone agrees. Everyone agrees. If you can save, even if you're gonna have to run after kalim, go to your neighbor and borrow some kalim, borrow some pots and pans, in order to fill up this leak coming from truma. With it, which are tar, your neighbor has tar kalim. So even if it's gonna take a long time, and you only have the ability to save a revius of truma b'tara, it's worth it to do that. Why a revius and not shava pruta, a certain monetary amount? Like we said, the idea is that when it comes to truma is the goof, the davar, the shelo belongs to the kohen, but the reshuso, the value, the shavius the domain belongs to Hashem. So that's why it goes with a revius, which is a measurement, right? A revius of wine. A revius is a measurement on the actual truma, which is the gufa truma, which belongs to the kohen, which is what Hashem cares about, right? That belongs to the kohen. That is the half-said mammon of the kohen. So therefore, if it has kedima, even though you're going to lose a lot of money, right? You're going to lose thousands of dollars, and you can just save one revius of truma. The halacha is everyone agrees save the revius of truma. Why? Because truma has kedima. It's ratius. It's supposed to give truma before you're allowed to take for yourself. So therefore, even if you can save only a revius at least something chashuv, save it for the kohen and lose a lot of money yourself. However, if you can't even save a revius, so then it's machlokas. Rabbi says you're stuck. Let all the chulin become mixed with truma. And Rabbi Yeshua says no. Take the kalim tmeim and catch the leak of truma that you have and save your chulin, because the Gemara in Pesachim says hafsid merubah chashashu, for a monetary loss the Rabbanan Rachoshesh. How does this work? We pass on Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbi Yeshua is not mentioned in this Mishnah, but Rabbi Yeshua is the Pesach. He argues on Rabbi Elazar. He says, no, you catch it with the Tamei Kalim. So the problem is that it says Bishmeres Trumasi, and here you're really being Tamei Biyadayim, right? It's Truma. This is not Truma Tluya, which we had a discussion with Mishnah Ches. This is Truma Vadai. You're designated as Truma, and you're catching it with Tamei Kalim, right? Or which are Avatuma or things like that. You're going to make it Tamei, or Tamei Mace, or Tamei Sheretz. You're going to make it tamei. How could you do it biyadayim? How could you violate Shmeres Shumasi? Is there any reason for money? Do we allow you to violate Isurim for money, to gain money? You're going to lose a lot of money. We don't allow you to do Isurim. Isra Midal Raisa. No matter how much money you're going to lose, the Gemara, the Shulchan Aruch says in Siman Kuf Nun Zayin in Yoredeya, that you don't give up to, even when it's one Isra in the Torah, you give up all your money in the world for an Isra in the Torah. Chavetz Chaim makes his famous Lashon Hara. Even one Isra in the Torah, Midal Raisa, you don't give, maybe it's Isra D'Rabbanan, maybe you could talk about money, but Isra D'Raisa. So here you have to learn what I was saying before, that the Isra, Mishmeres Trumasi, that we have to be Shomer, the Truma B'Tara, is really a Dinei Mamnis. It's an Isra, but it's based on Dinei Mamnis. And there's two types of Isra. There's an Isra of Ben Adam L'Makom, and an Isra Ben Adam L'Chavero, and sometimes the Isra Ben Adam L'Chavero is totally in the Dinei Mamnis over here. The reason Hashem commanded you, Mishmeres Trumasi, to keep Truma in a state of Tara is because now it's worth more to the Kohen. You can eat it. If it's Tameh, right, for the Kohen himself, you can only burn it on it's less value. You can only burn it on the Tavshilo. So it's more valuable to the Kohen. So it's a Dinei Mamon. You're supposed to save money for the Kohen over here. When you can't save even a Revius, Rabbi Yeshua says, wait a second, it's really a dini mumnus, right? Or dini mumnus, you're losing out for hefsed meruba. So therefore, if you're not gonna lose a little, you only lose a little bit of money. Fine, but you lose a lot of money, a lot of chulin over here. It's gonna become a duma. So for hefsed meruba chashash, when the Rabbanan said it's an isser min Torah, but it's an isser that's totally in the dini mumnus. When it's totally in the dini mumnus, then we don't apply the halacha and kuftan zayin and shulchan aruch yardeya. And therefore, have some ruba. Torah chasam alon shal yisrael. The Torah cares about your money, even Yisrael's money. So therefore, you're not going to be able to save the truma. At least save your own money, Yisrael's money, and violate bimatame biyadayim, because it's not an isra bimatame biyadayim, because it makes monetary sense over here. The isra is based on monetary value, and here it makes sense, at least to save your own money. That's what I like to say over here. I hope you enjoyed. See you tomorrow.